Today we're going to talk about something that is so personal and honestly so difficult for a lot of people. We're going to explore what it's like to try and hold on to your faith when you're sick, and it feels like your prayers for healing just aren't being answered. So let's just jump right in. I want to start right here with this, because this isn't some abstract theological idea we're talking about today. This is for you, right now. If your body hurts, if you've been waiting and waiting for a change that just hasn't come, this is me looking you in the eye and saying, I see you. So we're calling this first part the silent battle. And that's because so much of this fight, it happens on the inside, right? It's in those quiet moments when nobody else is around to see it. It is a real battle and it deserves to be named. I mean, this is the daily grind, isn't it? That feeling of waking up already exhausted, the sheer amount of energy it takes just to get through a normal day. You put on a brave face, you tell everyone, I'm fine, really, but wow, it is an exhausting performance. Because underneath that smile, your body is screaming something totally different. It's that constant ache, that deep down fatigue that a good night's sleep can't even touch. It's the reality behind the curtain, and it's a huge disconnect between how you look and how you actually feel. And here is what makes this so incredibly hard. It's not like you don't have faith. You do. You believe in God. You've prayed your heart out. You've fasted. You've had your friends, your family, your whole church praying for you. And after all of that, you're still hurting. That tension right there is the hardest part of this whole thing. But listen, this feeling, it is not new. It's ancient. Thousands of years ago, King David himself wrote this raw, desperate cry. How long, Lord? This isn't a sign that your faith is weak. No way. This is the honest sound of a strong faith that's under an immense amount of pressure. And that's the question, isn't it? The one that echoes from David's time all the way into our hearts today. It's the question you whisper in the middle of the night, the one you're thinking in the doctor's office. How long? If you've ever asked that, you are in very, very good company.
So, where does that leave us? Well, it can leave our faith feeling stretched, really thin. And that's what this next section is all about. It's about what happens when the promises of healing we read about in the Bible smash up against the reality of our own prolonged pain.
And this is the question that can shake your faith right down to the foundations. It's the one we're sometimes afraid to even think, let alone say out loud. But here's the thing. The Bible never shies away from the tough questions. A faith that isn't tested, a faith that never has to wrestle, well, that's a faith that never gets to show its true strength. To really dig into this, let's look at the Apostle Paul. I mean, think about it. This is a man who was healing other people, performing miracles, and yet he himself had to live with what he called a thorn in the flesh, some kind of persistent, painful problem that he begged God 3 times to take away. And this was God's answer. Wow. It wasn't healing, it was grace. It wasn't the removal of the problem, but a totally different perspective. God was saying, my power shows up best, not in your strength, but in your weakness. It's this beautiful, counterintuitive truth. So this just completely reframes the whole situation, doesn't it? What if this has nothing to do with something you did wrong? What if this season of sickness, this time of weakness, isn't a punishment at all, but is actually positioning you for a different kind of strength? A deeper experience of God's power in your life. And that whole idea of positioning brings us to something really powerful. We're calling this section the intentional delay. Because sometimes what feels like God's silence, what feels like his absence, might actually be a very deliberate, very purposeful part of a much bigger story. Okay, so the story of Lazarus from the book of John is the perfect example of this. Look at the timeline here. Jesus gets the urgent message on day 1 that his friend is dying. And then what does he do? He waits. He hangs out for 2 more days. He shows up on day 4, but by then, Lazarus is already gone. From the outside, it looks like a total failure. It looks like he was too late. But here's the absolute key to the whole story. He wasn't late, he was intentional. Jesus knew exactly what he was doing. He even said it himself, this sickness will not end in death. No, it is for God's glory. It seems like some of the biggest miracles can only happen after all our human hope has completely run out. And Martha's words here, oh man, they just hit you right in the chest, don't they? Lord, if you had just been here. It's the cry of a heart that totally believes in God's power, but is just so confused and hurt by his timing. I think every single one of us has felt that at some point in our lives. So, with all that in mind, what does this actually mean for us right now? Well, it might mean that we need to redefine what healing even looks like. Let's explore a bigger, more complete picture of restoration, one that goes way beyond just the physical.
I want you to really let this promise sink in. It doesn't say the Lord removes all brokenheartedness. It says he is close to the brokenhearted. His presence, that is the first step of healing. It's a deep spiritual comfort that meets us right in the middle of our pain, not just after it's gone.
Yeah, see, we tend to get locked into thinking about healing in just one way, the physical stuff on the left, curing the body, getting rid of the symptom. And of course, we want that, but the Bible so often talks about a deeper, more holistic kind of healing, one that restores your soul, that calms your deepest fears, and in the end, builds a trust in God that is absolutely unshakable.
And please, don't for a second think this is all just ancient history. The book of Hebrews makes this incredible declaration. The same Jesus who healed the sick, who raised the dead, that exact same character, that same love, that same power is still at work. It's fully available to us right here, right now.
So where do we go from here? Well, this last part, it's not so much an explanation. It's more of an invitation. It's an invitation to find a different way to be, right in the middle of this season of waiting. It's an invitation to rest. And what does that even look like? Well, I think it starts with just pausing. Pausing the constant striving, the desperate straining to find an answer or fix this yourself. Then it's about intentionally creating some space, making room for peace to come in, even if nothing on the outside has changed. And finally, it's a choice. It's choosing to trust that even when you can't see it, God is at work. So I just want to leave you with this promise from the prophet Isaiah. Let it be an anchor for you today. It's not a promise that the struggle will instantly disappear. It's a promise of his presence in the struggle, a promise of his strength when you have none, a promise that he will hold you up. And that's the ultimate hope, isn't it? The thing we hold on to. Your pain, your waiting, all your wrestling with these hard questions, none of it is for nothing. In God's hands, this difficult, painful season will not be wasted. He is shaping it into a powerful story, a testimony of his grace, of your endurance, and of a faith that was stretched but did not break.